Hello students, welcome back to our session. So in today's class we will be discussing about direct and indirect speech, which is a part of our English second paper, that is English 2. Here we will be discussing about the uses, the rules and all the norms of creating narrations. Now first of all, narration is a very important part in English language. It is basically used for writing some narratives. It is used for writing stories, framing up our narrative essays. So for that, narration is very much important. So now let's discuss about direct and indirect speech or the narration. Now the most important thing that we need to know is that when the verb in one sentence reports what it is said by someone or some speaker in another sentence, the verb in the first sentence is called the reporting verb, and what it is said in the second sentence is called the reported speech. For example, the reporting verb, my father said, this part will end with one comma, and when we begin the reported speech, it will always come within double inverted comma, that it is time to go away. The sentence is, my father said, it is time to go away. So that is a direct speech. So here it can be expressed. There means there are two different ways in which the reported speech may be expressed. It may be either repeat the actual words used by the speaker, or it may be given their substance. So when the reported speech repeats the actual word, this is called direct speech. As in the above example I gave you earlier, my father said it is time to go away. So here reporting verb my father said, and the reported speech is it is time to go away. Now just remember, this is the mode generally used in the languages of India, but in English the sentences are not joined by that. In all cases of direct narrations, the reported speech must be marked off by inverted commas. So as what I told you earlier, that the reported speech always comes within double inverted comma. So when the reported speech gives the substance of the words used by the speaker and not the actual words, this is called indirect speech, such as my father said. So removing the comma as well as the inverted comma, we will put the conjunction that. It was time to go away. So in this construction, the sentences are joined by the word that. So the tense of the reporting verb is never changed, but the tense of the reported speech is in certain, there used to be certain changes in passing from the direct speech to the indirect one, and all this depend on the tense of the reporting verb. So there are two main rules regarding the change of tense in the reported speech, and these are similar to the rules which I will tell you, like say, if just try to, if possible, try to listen it carefully. If not, then repeat it again and note it down. The first rule, it will be like, if the reporting verb is a past tense, the tense of the verb in the reported speech must be changed to one or other of the four form of the past tense. I'm repeating again. If the reporting verb is a past tense, the tense of the verb in the reported speech must be changed to one or other of the four forms of the past tense. Now come to the second rule. If the reporting verb is a present or future tense, the tense of the verb in the reported speech is not changed at all. Remember it. If the reporting verb is a present or future tense, the tense of the verb in the reported speech is not changed at all. So second rule, it's very simple. So if you see, with this rule, the reporting verb is assumed to be in some present or future tense, and whenever this occurs, the tense of the verb in the reported speech is not changed at all in passing from the direct to the indirect speech. Now, sometimes, uh, before going further, let me give you some examples of this one, second rule. Say, if the reporting verb says, he will say, the reported speech is, the boy was lazy. So when in indirect speech, how it will become? He will tell them that the boy was lazy. Or see, he will say, you have spoken falsely. So indirect will be, he will tell you that you have spoken falsely. Now, remember that say, that means to utter the word, and tell means to give information or an instruction. So in the reporting verb, you say, he will say, the boy was lazy. In indirect speech, it becomes, he will tell them. Here, instead of say, we use the word tell. The boy was lazy. So sometimes there is an uncertainty as to whether the pronoun he in the reported speech refers to the person speaking or the person spoken to. Suppose, for example, if the reporting verb in direct speech, Govind says to Raman, Govind says to Raman, I am wrong. So, the reporting verb in, if you are going to change it, then it will come as in indirect speech, Govind tells Raman that he is wrong. Got it? Govind tells Raman that he is wrong. So now, if we are going to see now the pronoun he, now how is the uncertainty about the he to be removed? This can only be done by inserting the name of the person intended after he, which I'll tell you here by giving one example. Suppose Govind says to Raman, I am wrong. Govind tells Raman that he is wrong. Now who is he? Govind. Govind is wrong. Govind tells Raman that he is wrong. Govind says to Raman, you are wrong. Now another example, Govind says to Raman, you are wrong. Now if you convert it into indirect speech, then it will become Govind tells Raman that he is wrong. Who? Govind tells Raman that he is wrong. So Raman is wrong. That means Govind tells Raman that he is wrong. Here he means Raman. Now, there are certain rules which to change the tense. Suppose the present tense changes into its corresponding past form, such as in direct speech, if we say he said, reporting verb he said, and reported speech is the man shall come, right? So in indirect speech it will become, he said that the man should come. The shall turns to should. Now one more example. He said the man will come. Indirect speech, he said that the man would come. So if we say uh, the indirect speech with the reporting verb, he said the man has been coming. So in indirect speech it will come as, he said that the man had been coming. Got it? Now another rule is, change the past, simple past in the reported speech into past perfect. How? Reporting verb he said, reported speech the man came at 6 in indirect speech. So when we indirect speech. So when we are going to turn it into indirect speech, it will form as, he said that the man had come at 6. Or one more example, he said rain fell yesterday. So if we are going to convert it into indirect speech, it will become, he said that rain had fallen yesterday. Now past continuous, as I told you, it will change into its corresponding past form. Past continuous, it turns into past perfect continuous. For example, he said the man was coming. Now indirect speech says, he said that the man had been coming. Or he said rain was falling yesterday. Indirect speech, he said that rain had been falling yesterday. So this is what we got to know about the changes of the rules, changes how the verb changes, how we need to use the verbs, how we should write it and changing the verbs. The thing is this, like there in direct speech, whatever the tense says, in indirect way, in indirect speech, we will have to change it according to what the tense demands. So remember, in direct speech, main basic things which we need to remember, with how we can identify whether it's direct speech or indirect. Direct speech always comes with the reporting verb, and the reported speech always comes with double inverted comma. Within the reported speech always comes within the double inverted comma. Whereas in indirect speech, what happens, we remove the double inverted comma and in place of that we insert that, and the tense, it changes according to the what the reported speech, what it says. According to the tense, we change the verbs. So remaining part, there are few more rules, there are few more examples are there, we will discuss in our next session. Thank you.